Now that the prep work's finished, let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this design. What I'm going to do now, we need to do the base coat. Now remember, we're doing a soccer field, so what I went with for the base coat is a jungle green color. Went down to the Porter Paints where our buddy Ben, who works in South St. Louis, hooked us up with the paint. He sold it to us. And what I chose is the ceramic matte, M-A-T-T-E. Reason why I went with the ceramic matte instead of the flat is because the matte is much more favorable when you wash the walls than the flat is. It's more durable, okay? So before I start rolling the wall, what I want to do is trim out the ceiling line. I'm going to come down the door line and I'm going to hit the baseboard with the paintbrush. And after that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to use the roller and we're going to roll the base on. Let's get to work. The best part about this job is all the help that I've been getting on helping me paint it. When you're rolling, a trick is the same thing as when you're trimming the top. Don't start rolling it, placing the roller onto the wall right at the ceiling line. What you like to do is come down about a foot, start rolling it because that's where the big thick part of the paint's going to be, and then you start going all separate ways on spreading it out. Remember, you want it to be even so you don't have some big dark color mark here running around the border when you're all finished. Start out even, let it flow, because we're going to have to do a second coat. Mike, how's it going?
Good.
This fun?
Yeah.
What are we making here?
Soccer field?
World Cup soccer field. That's right. That's season this year. And then we're back at day number 2 creating the World Cup soccer field on this wall. Yesterday what we had did, we had prepped the walls. I had then painted the base green for the darker color stripe, and we gave it enough time to dry for this morning so we could start the second half, which is actually using the U-Stripe and Design tool on making the stripe for the lighter color so we could have the vertical dark light color greens as we see on the soccer field. Now, the first step when we do the stripes is deciding what width that we're going to use for the stripe. Now, when you watch the World Cup soccer, they have wide stripes. So what I think today we should go with the 12 inch. So it's 12 on each side, okay? And now you have to tighten it. What you would want to do is place it on a hard surface, put pressure where the bolt is, the wing nut, and tighten it. After you have this finished, we're ready to begin. Now we're going to start step 2. Step 2 is when we place the tool onto the wall to create our first stripe. And when we do this, we're going to use the delicate tape. What we're going to do also, using our level, we're going to place on the ceiling line, we're going to make sure it's level. Some walls are off, okay? You're not going to have a perfect house. So even if it's like a 1/4 inch off here, and you're on at the top of the door, and you're level here, go ahead and do the stripe. You will not know the difference, okay, when you finish painting it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put a little pressure with my left hand, and I'm going to start the tape like this. I'm going to hold it here, and what I found it's easiest, you go ahead and pull it off and let it hang there, okay? You're still level right there. You're going to start off at the ceiling line, put the tape, about every inch, you're going to come down the wall. You're going to put more pressure on the left side because this is the one we're going to paint on the left side. And you just move the tool down and you just let some more tape out. You stay on line right here. You're still level. You just work on down. To the bottom. Bring the tool down. You go back where you left off at. We're still level. Still level. Go ahead and bring it past where the trim board is, the baseboard. I'm going to cut the tape off. Make sure I'm on right here where I left off at. Level right there. Nice short. And you walk it down the wall. Okay? And that is our first stripe. This is the painted stripe. We just finished step 2. Step 2 is the first full stripe that is going to be painted. Now step 3, what we're going to do is the non-painted stripe. We're going to put the tool, the left arm of the tool, on the tape that we had just put on the wall, and we're going to line it up on the inside. What we're going to do, well, you have to do this because we're going to make up for this inch difference on the right side, which is the non-painted. So when we take the tape off, it's going to be a 12-inch stripe here, 12-inch stripe here, and we're going to have a 12-inch stripe here. So I'm going to put a little pressure with my left hand on the tool to hold it onto the wall. I'm going to start the tape. Make sure I'm level right here. I'm lined up on the tape right there, and I'm ready to start this stripe. You just take your time. At first, it's going to feel a little bit awkward, but once you get used to the tool by your third or fourth stripe, you should be moving right along. Hold the tape down, and you move the tool down, staying on the inside, lined up, level. Again, make sure you have enough tape down here at the baseboard. Cut it off so it's easier for you. Line yourself back up. Level. Left off from before. You move on down the wall. Now a little tip on the non-painted stripe. What I like to do, because while you're painting, you could be talking to your friend, you could be just, caught up in what you're doing in painting, and you could mess up by accidentally painting on a non-painted stripe. So if you put a piece of tape on all the non-painted stripes, once you get the stripes going, you'll see what I mean later on, that you know to paint, not to paint. Paint, not to paint. So what we do after step 3 is finished, we go back to step 2. We line the tool up on the outside of the tape now, make a stripe, we go back to step 3, back to step 2, 3, until the room's completed. Finish with the stripes. Here's the fun part. We gotta take the tape off the wall, and we gotta look at our design. Look at that. Look at those beautiful stripes. Just coming together as a soccer field. When pulling the tape off the wall, you want to pull towards the stripe that you just painted. Reason why, if there's any wet paint that's still on the tape, it's going to splatter on your stripe that you had painted that's the same color of it, and not the non-painted stripe.